Firstly, I apologize that everything is so zoomed in. It is because of my lack of vision. I'll try not to move around too quickly and disorient you all. So, I want to show you all something about scholarly sources because as you make research papers, as you write research papers more and more, it gets more important at higher levels. And if, say, you were to pursue a master's or doctoral degree, it becomes increasingly important that you find scholarly sources. These are peer-reviewed sources. They have gone through a rigorous process before publication. So there are two sources that you can use to find scholarly articles, and we're going to look at those right now. So you see here, I'm on jsu.edu/library. This is what you have access to as a student here. And this is just a simple search tool on the surface. I want to pick a topic that I'm actually quite interested in. Swarm intelligence. Now, most of the time, you're just going to want to look for keyword. You can look for title if you know exactly what you're looking for, though that's really if you're studying literature or music or things like that. You can search for author. Again, you already know what you're looking for if you're searching with this. If you're doing academic research, you are almost always doing keyword. And we're going to leave this setting as it is. We're going to use GemFinder. There is also JaxCat and journal title list. For academic research, GemFinder is going to do us just fine most of the time. So we give it a moment. And it's going to pull up some sources. Now we can stop here. We get some books. We get some articles. You might get patents. You might get legal filings. There's so many things that you could possibly get from this. But we want scholarly sources. So what we want to do is click Advanced Search. Sorry about that. Thought I clicked it the first time. Okay. So here we can add terms to our search. These are just logical statements. By now you should understand these. So we can use an and, an or, an XOR. It's not doing the drop-down for me at all for some reason. That's okay. I think I would have to enter something first. So we've got a bunch of different options here. There are just a few that we're concerned with, though. We're not looking for print books. We're not looking catalog only. Peer review. You need to click this. This is how you find scholarly sources. You can look, if you know the journal name, you can look for articles specifically in that journal. Like if you're looking for something in an ACM journal or an IEEE journal, you can search that way. If we scroll down farther, we see more options. We have language choices, available in library collection. Not worried about that either. You might need these, that's why I'm pointing them out. Apply related words. This could dilute your search, but if you're not entirely sure what you're looking for, then this could help you. Also, search within the full text of the articles. Again, it can dilute. And also apply equivalent subjects. I leave this on even though it has the same problem as these two in that it could give you things that you don't need. Full text. This is how we get only articles that you can access through JSU. There are some, especially with the IEEE and the ACM, that you have to pay for. The last thing I care about is publication date. Ideally, you want articles within the last 5 to 10 years. If you have to go older, then you have to go older. But generally speaking, 5 to 10 years. I'm going to go with 5 years. So we select May of 2020 to May of 2025. Generally, also, an exception to the 5 to 10 year rule is if it is a seminal work. If it is something very foundational to what you're talking about, then that could be a source that you would use regardless of how old it is. So I'm going to scroll past all these, and we're going to apply all these changes to our search. And we get a host of additional articles. Now, let's go with this first one here. Optimization of product design process and cloud manufacturing systems based on swarm intelligence. So we can click this to get some more information. Of course, we get the authors, the source, what journal it came from, type of document, subject themes, or subject terms, excuse me. Author supplied keywords. As you write academic research, you will have to include keywords in your paper. Usually it'll go below the abstract, and that's these here. But the real thing we're after is these full text links. We can get it in HTML format, that being just a web page, or we can get it as a PDF. Now you will have to sign in, and I had to reinstall Chrome this morning, so I am not signed in. I'm guessing yes. So you'll have to sign in using your JSU email password. You know the drill by now. And that'll give you access to these full texts. So now that I've shown you this is a much more complex, more cumbersome way to search for articles. But you have a better chance at getting things that you wouldn't otherwise have access to. On the other hand, if we click over to Google Scholar, we get a much simpler mechanism for finding what we need. So this is, just like every other Google sub-site, it is subsite.google.com, in this case, scholar.google.com. So I want to use the same search term as before. And it's going to give us some of the same articles that we got earlier, for obvious reasons. We're going to apply a custom range from 2020 to 2025. Apply the change. And a first search term, or first search result, stays the same. Swarm intelligence, provided by Springer. Give me a moment to find what it's yelling at me for. Is it just telling me about cookies? Yes, there it is. And I trust Springer as a site, so I don't mind accepting all of them. And so here we have an article by Springer. You might have to log in, and here's the big thing with a lot of scholarly sources, is sometimes you have to purchase them. Your instructors, some of them have access to these things. Currently, I don't. I am not a member of Springer. I am also not a member of the ACM or IEEE, so I personally don't have access to these. Your other instructors, if you have a rapport with them, you might ask them if they can help you. But this was just a quick video to explain, here's how you get scholarly sources. I'm not giving a specific number on how many I expect. I just expect some. I expect you to find some scholarly sources to support your paper. All right, that's going to do it for this video. So if you have any questions, if you have any issues, by all means, reach out and let me know. Till then, see y'all next time.